the purpose and inspiration for this YouTube channel was out of an editorial exercise. I found with the copious amounts of writing that I've done that through the editing process, reading the fiction out loud seemed to help catch things that I would otherwise miss. You know, you've been reading the same paragraph half a dozen times, the mind kind of glazes over and you just seem to overlook a word that's out of context. And there's a different attention paid to the process if you find yourself reading the story out loud. And I got to my little thinking hat and thought to myself, well, if I'm going to be reading the stories out loud, why might as well just record it? And so I grabbed myself a little H4n recorder and found that it worked out quite well. But to what end? So I got to the idea, well, why don't I just record the editorial process as a podcast? Well, mostly reading the stories and the novels out loud. And in the process, started to build up illustration works, covers, cover variances, and interior black and white drawing illustrations for the larger and shorter work. And took to recording video of drawing these illustrations and working and planning out the illustrations and the covers while overlaying that with reading the fiction. And so that's part of what this is all about, is eventually reading chapters of the novellas and novels that I have currently in process right now. I have 3 final draft novels, 1 second draft novel, and 1 first draft novel, and 2 novellas I'm finishing up right now with 2 short stories that are pretty much done. Obviously, I obsess over editing, so the likelihood of me rewriting a first chapter or a second chapter over and over and over again becomes a limiting factor, which would require me to be inspired to discipline, a weakness of mine, of course. So that's part of the reason for this YouTube channel. That and just gratuitous self-promotion, which I don't do enough of. And this YouTube platform is something I should have done ages ago and just dithered and delayed and procrastinated. So, well, there's no time like the present. So, that being said, this is one of the interior illustrations for a finished novella. I'm not going to explain or give a title until it's all done. So, that being said, it's a story about revenge. And the adopted child coming home to make amends of other people's sins, so to speak. One of the novels, and this redemption and redemption, not necessarily forgiveness, but redemption and facing one's own shortcomings and crimes and coming to grips with that. It seems to be some of the running themes. Obsession is another one. But one of the novels I have in process deals with 4 brothers. And those 4 brothers, one of the brothers is married and has 2 kids. Well, the 2 sons, are killed in a hit and run. And the premise behind the novel is, if you could enact revenge against some horrible thing done to you, like your children being killed in a hit and run accident, and you find the perpetrator who thought he got away with it, you could get away with revenge. Everyone in your community is with you. They would cover your foot tracks. They would cover your brothers and all that. And the idea behind the story is, if you could enact that revenge, would you? So that's the plot of one of the novels that are being finished up. In the dead of winter. That's not. Well, that's the environment that the novel takes place in. But anyway, thank you for watching.